And by the way, did you see that about open doors? It says this, the Lord's opened a door to me and there's many adversaries. A lot of us are sitting around saying, Lord, open a door, and then we think we're going to dance right into it. Yeah. Just because God opens a door doesn't mean that there aren't adversaries on the other side, and you won't have to run the gauntlet to win the prize. I just felt somebody in here needed that. And then verses 13 and 14, I'm almost through. Watch, stand fast in the faith. Be brave, be strong. Let all that you do be done with love, truth, and love. This is the authority that's established in leadership to make sure that people are firm in the faith. Stay to the faith, preach the word, teach the word, the whole counsel of God. Leave nothing out. Don't change a jot or a tittle. And then love everybody with the love of Jesus. Authority exists to make sure the church has both love and truth. All love and not enough truth, not good enough. All truth without love, not good enough. I urge you, brethren, verse 15, that you know the household of Stephanas, that is the first fruits of Achaia, that is the first guy saved in Greece, and that they have devoted themselves to the ministry of the saints. That's credentialing. That's authority telling you this guy is safe. That you submit to such and to everyone who works and labors with us. We are sending a man there to work with you, and you need to listen to him and let him teach you and help you, because you as a church are in deep trouble. You're divided over doctrine. Your services are a disaster because people are standing up and speaking in tongues over top of other people speaking in tongues, and nobody interprets, and it's a big mess. Some of your leaders are living in sexual sin, and you don't say a word to them. So I'm going to send you a pastor, and you better listen to what he has to say. You think we need authority? I am glad about the coming of Stephanas, Fortunatus, and Achaicus. For what was lacking on your part, they supplied. See, this church is not self-sufficient in and of itself. In the same way that you aren't self-sufficient. You can't go to the Lone Ranger church. I saw a guy once who used to sit in Kentucky, sorry, Justin, in a shack he had made, and he had an old radio antenna off of DeSoto. And he said, this was the church of me. And he only God. And he'd stand there and he'd hold that radio antenna and he'd say, Lord, it's me. He'd say, do you want me to go to the store today, or do you want me to go over and visit folks in the hospital? If you want me to go to the store, tell me. And that antenna would shake. Okay, I'm going to the store. So, well, what keeps a local church from becoming like that? Authority, accountability, benevolence, cooperation, credentialing, and companionship in the gospel. We need each other. You need Stephanas and Fortunatus. You need all of these people. He said, for they refresh my spirit, and they'll refresh yours. Therefore, acknowledge such men. Well, let me close this way. I'm not going to close with an altar call. I'm going to close with a call for covenanted church membership. We're going to be taking folks in again, not too many weeks from now, into a covenant relationship. If you are not in covenant relationship with a local church, with a religious, I'm going to go ahead and say it, organization, with a godly local church that's connected to a broader network of cooperating local churches where there is A, spiritual and structured accountability, B, spiritual and structured benevolence, and C, spiritual and structured companionship in the work of the gospel. I ask you, in light of all the things that I have labored to present to you last week and this week to get in such a relationship. We are the bride of Christ, and He wants a bride that is both fruitful and faithful. A bride whose growing family can depend on her to be there, to feed them, to clean them, to teach them, and most of all, to love them. So if you are not a covenanted member of a church that is connected, where there is authority and accountability and cooperation for evangelism and missions and benevolence, I want you to consider what you're missing, that you're in a dangerous place. And maybe you're also in a place where your gifts are not being used. Consider this, I implore you. Could we stand? Very different ending, very different message, I understand. If you're new here today, this is not typical. But it doesn't mean that it's not important. We need each other, and we need the strength that each other provides. We need the refreshing that each other can provide. And we need the protection of authority and accountability and credentialing. We need these things. And many are not in church today because they have gone to places with great spiritual fire and no authority and accountability, and they've been hurt and burned and trampled. And they're all around us. And I'm asking the Lord to give some of them to us and let them find a place of home and support. Everybody needs a good church family.